Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by and welcome to Modern Exodus. My last video, I talked about having a sense of urgency, waking up and feeling like, there's some things that I need to do, some things I need to check. It's a miscellaneous list that I put together of, things. I mentioned can openers. That's, for whatever reason, that can opener comment got a lot of attention. I had people hating on can openers. I had people pointing out, and rightly so, that can openers are probably the least of our concerns right now. I get that. Each and every one of us has different priorities that we need to look at in our lives, whether it comes to preparedness, growing a garden, or just paying a bill, going to work, or taking care of family. So, the point of the last video was simply to just throw out some ideas that really related to me, that over the weekend, some things that I needed to check, some things that I actually did today. I went and found my little Ziploc bag of P38 and P51 can openers. They were near where I thought I had left them, so that was a good thing. And I'm out running some errands now. I just picked up some lumber. I'm going to be working on several projects, including a greenhouse that I started building last year and did not finish, and I'm finally getting around to working on that this year. It's going to be a small one, but it's better than nothing. And also, I'm going to be setting up at a local community, I don't know what you call it, community market? Yeah, that's what I'll call it. Local community market, and selling a variety of things that I build. And these are chicken roosting trees and roosting bars and picnic tables. They're like little chicken picnic tables that I make and seem to be pretty popular. Chicken swings and just a variety of things. So anyways, I'm going to be working on that over the weekend. So I just thought I would give a little update on a few things. I just watched PrepperNow's most recent video. I'll try to put a link down in the description. I'll try to remember. And it's a very good video. He was talking about plastics, and that it had been reported quite some time ago that there were a variety of components used in the manufacture of different plastics that if the strait was closed, if there was war in the Middle East, it could interrupt and create supply issues. And he's saying, he doesn't see anybody talking about it. And he also made the point that the stock market, with everything that's going on in the world, that the stock market continues to rise and hit all-time new highs like nothing's going on. And I think it's a pretty valid point. Now, it's either that all this stuff that's going on just doesn't matter. It's really not that big a deal and it's not that important, which is the opposite of what many of the experts, many of the pundits out there are saying, or the market is manipulated. Now, I'm on the side that the market is highly manipulated, and it's being driven up in a variety of ways, and there will be a very, very large correction that will occur, and those that have the money will take advantage of that correction. And I'm talking the billionaires out there, the millionaires, the mutual funds, and the elite will sink a bunch of money into it when the correction happens, and then they'll ride that ride back up and make even more money. And this has been a repetitive thing in the financial markets for a long time. I think it also happens with silver and gold, but definitely to a larger extent with the financial markets. I invest in tangibles, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video. You know, all these different things can happen. You know, PrepperNow was talking about the plastics industry and these different plastics. Now, I've worked for many years in the polymer industry, and if you're not familiar, plastics and polymers, same thing. And absolutely, these things can, and they have in the past, created shortages and price increases to different components that go into the manufacture of different plastics. What typically happens is that the amount that is manufactured is lowered. So if you have containers that are used for ketchup and mustard and peanut butter and salad dressings and all of the above, they still get manufactured, but just to a lower level, because there is some ingredient, some additive that is not available in the quantity that it normally is. And they can change formulations in case some additive is not available at all. They can adjust these formulations so that they can keep the manufacturing going. However, very frequently, there'll be a shortage and price increases. I tell you, price increases. I never thought I'd say those two words as much as I have in 2026. Anyways, back on task here. So, you know, that it is happening. It has happened in the past, and I'm sure it's happening now. And that's part of what we're seeing when we go to purchase our food for the week, for the month. It's all calculated in. And we're beginning to see gas creeping up again. I'm paying $4 a gallon. I was down in the $3.60, $3.69, and it's now hit $4. On my way now as I'm out running errands. I'm going to go ahead and get some more gas, and I'm going to see what it is now. I'm wondering if it's up over $4. So, you know, I mentioned tangibles. If you're not familiar with that term, tangibles are physical assets that you hold and you retain, and they're usable, and they can help you do a variety of things. All your garden tools are tangibles. Your canning jars, your canning lids are tangibles. All the tools that you have in your garage, your toolbox, your hammers, your screwdrivers, your sockets, all tangibles. If you have a wood splitter, that's a tangible. Your vehicles that you use to do a variety of things around your property and to go from place to place is a tangible. Money in a money market account is not a tangible. That doesn't mean it doesn't have value and it's not worth having. It's just not a tangible. So your firearms, your ammunition, your magazines, your different accessories are all tangibles. And so when it comes to the world of preparedness, self-reliance, and self-sufficiency and independence from the systems that surround us, tangibles are absolutely crucial. And there are many people out there that believe that rather than putting money in a bank account or in the stock market, in a mutual fund, or in gold and silver, that you should put money and invest in tangibles. And I think there's a lot of wisdom behind that, but I also think diversification is valuable. So, the reality is, I've said this before, everything might work out just fine. It could be that over the next 5-6 years, the stock market continues to go up, and how life is right now may continue to exist. And having money in the bank and having money in the stock market would certainly be worth having and worth doing. So diversity would say, you know what, keep some cash at home in case of an emergency, keep some cash in the bank, as a backup. And if you have a 401k, an IRA, or you just do it on your own through an app like Robinhood or something like that, and you want to put some money in some index funds, mutual funds, or individual stocks, if there's something in particular that you really like and you want to put money in it, fine. But diversification and spreading your money around lowers your risk and could work out in the future. And if something were to happen and suddenly zombies are walking the streets and the stock market is no more, well, you've got your cash, maybe you've got some gold and silver, you've got your canning supplies, your tools, your seeds, your guns, your ammunition, and your food that you've put back to fall back on. So yeah, you lost a little bit over there, but you've gained a whole lot everywhere else. So tangibles, for me, is the priority, but diversification is also important. And it's diversification within the tangibles. See a lot of preparedness channels. Seems like it's gotten a little better maybe over the last few years, but where they really, preparedness was really all about firearms and everything that goes around firearms. And then they'd throw in, hey, get some seeds, garden, food storage, stuff like that, when, firearms are just one component of it. And maybe I feel like it's improved because, especially on YouTube, where they are so anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, that, you just don't see some of the content that you used to many years ago. So anyways, just a little update today, between today, which I'm recording this on Friday, and over the weekend, going to be trying to get a lot of stuff done, a lot accomplished. I'm actually beginning to look at the upcoming winter, that's part of living in Maine, that you got to prepare and start looking, when you depend on a wood stove and propane for heat, then you got to plan. You got to make sure you have enough wood before winter hits. You got to make sure you have enough propane to last. And, even when it's very warm out, beautiful in the middle of summer, you got to be thinking about that stuff. So anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. That's it. Hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Comment, share your thoughts on this video. Share your thoughts on tangibles. Are there things that you're prioritizing right now? Do you have some projects, some tasks that you're going to be working on over the weekend? You got questions about something? Share it. Maybe somebody in this community can help out. And that's it. So, again, I appreciate it. You guys stay safe. Take care. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth, while crooked men shake hands. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope